and do I really have to do a review of that absolute horror show today? That was bad. That was really, really bad. Listen, yes, Brentford did play well. They passed the ball nicely. They controlled the game at times. In the first half, let's go through the lineup. So Sufal was welcomed back, came back in obviously for Fredericks. Cresswell started as expected. Manuel Lanzini started also. That was the only real change of the game. They lined up as expected with Ericsson and Buemo, Tony, and Wissa up front. We were awful. The first half, passed it about in stages. No, they let us enjoy a bit of possession round the back, but that's all it was. A lot of sideways, backwards, no real speed or intent on the ball. I think Souček had the only shot on the target for us in the first half. They didn't really offer much as well in that first half. It was very much teams just safe passing with no direction in their intent. Very poor, very poor. Bowen didn't really get much of the ball in that first half. Obviously Zuma as well. That was a bad thing in the first half. Zuma went down with what looks like a twisted ankle. Hopefully it's nothing more than that. A little painkilling injection on Thursday can get him through. It looked like Dawson might have gone off just before that as well. It looked like he might have broke his nose, but obviously he's a warrior and stayed on. No substitutions at the start of the half. Which was frustrating. So we came out, didn't really do anything. Again, they scored quite early from a throw-in, just played into the box, and I think it was Mbuemo who put it in. Just poor goal. After that, again, we didn't really do anything. We was passing, but there was no intent. There was no one getting hold of the ball. No one want to hold the ball by the scruff of the neck. Antonio kept drifting wide. He was awful. Listen, I'm here I'll take criticism from our fans today. He was awful, and he has been awful for a very long time. Yes, he might have run his socks off a few games, but as an attacking threat, he is done for me. He's done. Honestly, if he scores again this season, I will be surprised. And you can clip this and use this when and if he does score again. I just can't see it. He's awful. Picked up the ball, sort of just outside where the semicircle is on the 18-yard box. Dilly-dallying, caught on the ball. They break down the other end, and it's 2-0. He was awful. And then his head went a bit because he knew he was coming off. Started kicking out at a player. Just awful. Honestly, people can sit here and say, it's not his fault and all that. Oh, look, nice little Tottenham fan in the chat. But that was awful. I can't take it. It was so bad. And a Tottenham fan in the chat there saying you've been exposed. Don't worry, Spurs will come back. They will come back. So, yeah, 2-0 loss. Terrible. Absolutely terrible today. Big shame. But that's what it is. We've blown our chance in. They were still in a quarter-final. Where are you, Tottenham? You're in fourth, but what competitions can you win this year? Do you get a trophy for fourth? I thought so. Anyway, got another one there saying, Fool's Dyer says, to borrow the phrase from the in-betweeners, that was dreadful. It certainly was, mate. Let me just remove this Tottenham troll from the chat because he's got nothing better to do with his life. Only Declan and Dawson seem to be playing well. Yeah, and then Ben Rama come on. He just kept running down blind alleys. Couldn't pass the ball correctly. Was constantly getting tackled. Tyne says that's what happens when you sign no one. It's right, mate. There was no one to change the game. It was screaming out for someone like a Jesse Lingard, who can carry the ball, pick the ball up, and try and take the game by the scruff of the neck. But we haven't got it. There's no options on the bench. So just going back into the comments again now. Why is it not coming up? Sorry, guys. Ben Rama was awful, says Roist. I agree. That's what. Truly dreadful. Does a bit of skill and ends up nowhere. I agree. Does Antonio constantly play with his back to goal these days or on the wing? There was a point he was sitting like in a CDM position. It's like, come on, Is Moyes not telling him, just stay in the box? You can't run anymore. In my opinion, he's lost that pace. He cannot run anymore. And when he used to, and this was beginning of the season, it's only recently this sort of happened within the last sort of 3-4 months. He'd get the ball, turn, and he's gone. He can't do it anymore. And all that teams do now as well is like, let him have that little yard, let him turn. We sit 2 centre backs deep, and he can't get anywhere anyway. Honestly, Antonio. This is I'm gonna probably get a lot of abuse for this. It breaks my heart that he broke Paolo Di Canio's record, because he now thinks in his head that he's like this elite legend now. This, like, it's as if like the record was his big thing. Like, to go and break that record was the thing that he needed to go and do. And since he broke that record, he's been awful. He's been goddamn awful since he broke that record. And to put him in the same conversation as Paolo Di Canio hurts me, because Paolo is my hero. I know I'm going to get him a lot of abuse for that, and I do apologize. It might just be raw anger. Russ says, unsure why Lanzini was taken off when he was likely one to do it. Yeah, should have kept him on. He might have got Benrahma to do a little bit more. He may have found him a bit better. Sometimes when it's him, Fornals and Benrahma together, they play nice little things, but nothing was coming off today. It was awful. The passing had no intent at all. Top 6 is going to be very difficult now. It is. That Burnley game's not going to be easy. I know they lost to Norwich today, but that makes that game even harder next week, because now they need to win even more to fight for their life. Vlasic tried, but his ball control is painful to watch. Yeah, it's like having trampoline feet. Duncan says, unfortunately, I didn't see the game, but a big opportunity missed. You didn't miss anything, Duncan. Honestly, I think a lot of people made the right choice and switched off at 2-0. I understand why Fred and Johnson were rested, but Soufal is well off the pace. I agree. Listen, this is just a reaction to that performance, guys. It's not a reaction to the season. Please don't think I'm having like a breakdown about, it's a terrible season and this one should go and that one should go. It's on that performance alone and a missed opportunity. That's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm angry. It's just always, we get that opportunity to get that little gap and that little bit of breathing space. We would have been 6 points clear of Wolves, more or less guaranteed Europa League conference if we would have won today. But we just always blow that opportunity. It was very lethargic. We looked like a team that had played in the midweek. Again, it's all down to this squad depth and just not good enough. That was not good enough. Sometimes, though, to put a positive spin on it, a performance like that can spark a good performance for the Lyon game. Because we did play quite well, in that Lyon game with 10 men. We played really, really well. Brave performance. But, Moyes really does need to have a look and go, look, who is good enough for next year? And I'm sure he's doing that. I'm sure he's looking, going, there's a lot of players there that have not got a future at this club. There is a lot of players. Just back in the comments quickly, guys. Sorry, I'm doing it. I'm filming on my phone. So, obviously, I have to quickly tap the phone. Why doesn't Moyes give some of the youngsters a chance? I don't know, mate. Okay, Antonio may have been knackered, but what? Lanzini, Diop, Benrahma, Soufal, excuse. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree with you. No, this performance really hurts. I wasn't confident, but it seems like we didn't try in January. Likely has contributed, but so many look like they couldn't be bothered. I agree, mate. I said it earlier on Jake's channel. Tottenham went and bought Bentancur and that Zufelensky or whatever his name is, and look what he's done for that team. Them two may be good enough to fire them into the top 4 now. We didn't buy no one, and that's why we're done. JP says too tired. I don't know, mate. Honestly, I'm very angry today because of that performance. In the summer, Benrahma, Vlasic, Diop gone. What has happened to Souček? I don't think he played too bad today. He tried. He just ain't getting the service anymore. It was just a poor performance. And it is only a reaction to the performance. This is not a reaction to the season. Please remember that. I react to games as a single quantity. Acid Joke says Bowen should never be our substitution for Antonio if he's been on the pitch from the start. I agree. Antonio, next Premier League game, there's argument that he will probably play the Lyon game. Next Premier League game, I wouldn't I would like to see Antonio put on the bench. I really, really would. And just try something different. Because he's not doing it. He's not doing it. And the problem is, and I'm not saying that, you know, he was calling for us to sign a player, but there isn't a player there. So he hasn't got that pressure. You know, he hasn't got that thought of, oh, there's another striker definitely going to come in and take my place. And if that player comes in and scores goals, I won't be in the team. It's not there. It's not there. Let's block this geezer again, because this geezer is an absolute dweeb. Probably don't know what a woman looks like. There are so many subs on our bench that never get used. Crow is like a mascot. I would have had Perkins up front. Suchek played well when Dex sits back. Try Perkins and put him on the thing. I've blocked that Bobby geezer because he's just, like I say, I don't think he knows what women look like. If it's arrogance, he should be dropped. If it's fatigue, he should be dropped. If he's loss of form, he should be dropped. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I totally agree. Anything else, guys? Thank you for watching live with me. Apologies for my rant and biting at the Tottenham fan there, but I can't stand it when they come on this channel. They don't care about us, apparently. Remember that? Tottenham fans do not care about us, but they're quick to come on this channel when we lose. Their centre-back really had Antonio in his pocket. Most centre-backs do now. It's quite easy to play against Antonio now. You sit two defenders deep. He can't run into the space. And even when he does run into the space, look what he did against Leon. Ineffective. He's been very ineffective recently. North London divs. They are, mate. But we don't mean nothing to them. Remember that? We don't mean nothing. We're small fry to them. We're not their rivals. Yet they're the first ones to come over here and say something. I cannot stand them. And I hope it all falls to pieces. I hope Harry Kane leaves. I hope Conte leaves. I hope your whole club goes out of business. That's how much I hate your team. I'm proper got off on one now. What can you say about a club who has chicken on a baseball fruit badge? I agree. I can't stand them. I cannot stand their entitled fans. And I've gone off on Tottenham rant now. I do apologise. Anyway, guys, I'll probably be clipped all over the place now because of this, and the Tottenham fans will have a laugh bit. Really don't care. I don't like you. Yes, you are our rivals. I don't like you. I don't want you to win. I hate you. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I'm absolutely going off on one because I'm so wound up about that Tottenham fan now. JP says, go on, Luke. Yeah, I'll get over it. It was bad performance today. I'm just really gutted about the opportunity missed. I want European football again. You know, I want to enjoy what we've had this season. I want it again. You know, it's a sign of progression. You know, I don't want it all to end on Thursday and then we haven't got it again. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for giving me some nice comments. Makes me smile, and knowing that my West Ham family and my West Ham community love me when I have my little rants about Tottenham. Anyway, come on, you irons. Keep believing. What's he saying? Don't rank your thoughts, aren't your soul. Relax, it's only a game. Aliz Olympic there. I'm ranting about the game, not the season, the game. And the Tottenham fan, come in my chat. Anyway, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.